Hey fantasy fans, welcome back. We're going to be talking about the book series I'm going to be reading in 2023. Great mix, super excited for 2023 with these series. I hope you can read along with some of these.
Thank you to my patrons for supporting the channel and making it the best it can be.
Hey fantasy fans, welcome back. It's Dan here with Treebeard Book Reviews, and today I'm going to be just planning out my 2023 TBR series. These are all fantasy series, I believe, except for one. One is an ongoing sci-fi series. So I think there's about, 4 new series I'm going to be throwing in here for 2023. As I said, guys, if you want to join in on any of these series reads, hit me up in the Discord below. There is a link, and you can join along. And some of these are actually picked because of patrons and because of everyone in the Discord, where they've kind of twisted my arm in one series, and I'm going to be doing a reread of it. I'm going to get to that series. Probably stick around to the end, and you'll see what that series is, and that I'm going to be rereading again for the second time. So I'm super excited to get into that. But let's talk about these series that I'm going to be reading in 2023. Let's go. All right, so the first series I'm going to be reading is Cosmere. I don't actually have these books yet because they haven't come out yet, and they are the secret novels by Brandon Sanderson. He has released 4 secret novels. 3 of them are Cosmere novels, so I'm going to be reading those. I'm actually going to be doing a buddy read for every single one of those novels. Every quarter there'll be a buddy read for Brandon Sanderson on the channel. So again, if you want to join the Discord for those. I'll have one set up for each of the books. I'm just going to show the covers here that are like the covers that just give you no details. I know people just don't want any spoilers for these, which is totally fair. So yeah, Cosmere. Going to be reading that in 2023. We just finished the Lost Metal here. I really enjoyed it. Had more time to reflect on it now, and I don't know if it's my favorite Cosmere book, but it's definitely like going in a trajectory that I'm not sure I'm gonna like, but hopefully these new secret novels will bring it back into a path that I enjoy. So Cosmere is number 10. Before we get into series number 9, I wanted to talk about. I did put out a poll, a community post about. Help me pick some series that I'm going to be reading in 2023. I had 5 different series on there. I said I was going to pick the top 2. Please stick around for that because these are on those lists. So I'm super excited to read those because those series have just been kind of capturing my imagination. I don't know what's happening in them. I don't know anything really about them. So I'm really excited to get into them. I'm really glad you guys can help me influence my pick. So, well, let's get on to the next series I'm going to be reading in 2023. That series is, boom, Jim Butcher, Dresden. I meant to continue with Dresden. I just never really got around to it this at the end of this year. 2022, the end really has been a heck of an end of the year where I've just been really busy at work, and everyone's been sick, and then I've been on a few holidays, been to Raleigh, and so it's just it was just one of those. I couldn't really fit in what I really wanted to read, and what I said I was going to read, I didn't really always end up reading. So, but that was really it. But Dresden. Going to be picking back up in 2023. I'm not continuing at Deadbeat. I'm actually at Death Mask, so I got to get a copy of that too. So yeah, Dresden, love Dresden. I'll be continuing with that in 2020. So why don't we get through all the series that I'm already currently reading, continuing on with 2023. There are a few new ones. I'm going to leave those to the front. So the series I'm continuing, and I actually think I will finish in 2023 is Discworld. Tiffany is going to be one of the series I start in 2023 within the Discworld, all the Tiffany Aching books. Really looking forward to that. The first book is The We Free Men. As you guys all know, Discworld's my favorite series of all time, so I'm really looking forward to finishing that up. I've probably read about 28 Discworld books now, and there's 41 in the series. So I should be, if I read one a month, which I usually do, I'll be able to get through Discworld this year. So pretty excited for that. All right, so the next series, I'm finally going to be continuing with it. It's actually like legitimately a year later that I'm picking this series up again because I read Gardens of the Moon in January this year, and now I'm going to be starting Dead House Gates in 2023, and I plan to finish Malazan in 2023 because I did have a lot of things going on in 2022, with my masters and starting a new job and just moving houses. So it was a busy year. I had a lot of things that interrupted my reading, so I'm hoping have a better reading year in 2023. I still read around just over 70 books, and I'm hoping to do much better next year. So I'm hoping for at least 80 next year. So, but 70 I'm still happy with. Not something to shake a stick at. So, but yeah, super happy to get into Malazan. There's going to be a lot of people reading Malazan next year, especially even on the Discord. If you want to join in on this, get in on Malazan. So I've already read book 1, so I absolutely love book 1. I know I'm going to love book 2, so I'm looking forward to getting into Malazan Dead House Gates in January. It'll be one of the first books I read, so check that out when my December TBR comes out. The next series I'm going to be finishing up in 2023 is The Expanse. So book 6 is the end of the first arc, and then it starts with Persepolis Rising. I believe it's called Persepolis Rising. Yeah, Persepolis Rising is book 7, which is that last arc. So I'm looking forward to finish that. 4 books, and I also have the collection of short stories, so should easily be able to knock those off. Really enjoyed The Expanse so far. Probably one of my favorite sci-fi series of all time. As you guys know, it's one of my favorite series of all time too. So really love it. Cannot wait to finish this in 2023. So now I want to talk about pressure. This is where I was. This series is one of my favorite series of all time. It's on that list. It will always probably be on that list. And everyone's been talking about it on the Discord. And I just couldn't. I was so hyped up from everyone talking about it that I'm like, yeah, I think it's time. It's time to do the Wheel of Time again. I am so excited to read this again, just from everyone talking about it. Everyone kind of just pulling quotes from the books. The hype is real. Wheel of Time is amazing. And I don't know how we're going to do it, because it is 14 books long. I don't know if we're going to try and blitz it all in 1 year, or if we're going to take our time, do one a month. So I'm really going to kind of dictate that at the pace of everyone on Discord. If people are loving it and we're jamming with it, let's just power through Wheel of Time. If not, we're going to take it slow, which is fine too. So those are all the series like I've read or have currently ongoing that I'm going to be continuing into 2023. But now I want to talk about I think it's 4 new series that I'm going to be reading, and 2 of them are picks from everyone on the channel. So let's get into those. Okay, so the first series I want to talk about, it's a historical fiction. It's by Bernard Cornwell, and that is The Saxon Tales, the first book being The Last Kingdom. As you guys know, I've been reading The Winter King or the Warlord Chronicles in these last 3 months, and it's absolutely blown me away. It's probably one of my favorite trilogies of all time. I've loved every part of that series. It's really actually just one book, because it's just a continuation from each book to the next. It's so masterfully written. Bernard Cornwell has just skyrocketed to the top of my TBR. I need to read this guy because he's just a fantastic, beautiful writer. And the Warlord Chronicle just absolutely moved me. I'm just finishing up Excalibur now. I'm on the last 40%, and holy cow, it's been it's an emotional roller coaster, just to say the least. And I could see the Warlord Chronicle being one of my favorite series of all time. And I would not be surprised when I'm doing my list of top 10 books of 2022 that one of those 3 isn't on there. It's gonna be so hard. It's so hard to pick. So yeah, the Saxon Tales, The Last Kingdom, going to be starting that in 2023 at some point. All right, and a series I said I really wanted to start. A few booktubers started it last year, and I was really kind of into seeing what their thoughts were, and they all seem to just unanimously love it. And this author is he's just a staple in the classic world, and I should have read it by now. But you know what? We're kind of going on this journey together. If I was if I had read everything in fantasy, or was the most well-read fantasy reader, sorry, I don't think it'd be as interesting to watch me, because we're doing this together. We're experiencing these series together. Yes, I've read a couple hundred fantasy books, but haven't read everything, and I think it's great to explore series together. And I'm really excited to start the Dragonbone Chair, A Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn by Tad Williams. The first book being the Dragonbone Chair. This is an absolute gorgeous cover. I'm really not too intimidated by the first 2, by the Dragonbone Chair and by I think it's a Stone of Farewell. But gosh, To Green Angel Tower is huge. So I'm really excited to try this. It's classical fantasy at its best, from what everyone has said about it. It's really kind of been, it's a cornerstone of the fantasy genre, and I'm super excited to give it a shot and try it. So I don't know when I'm going to be getting to it in 2023, but it's going to be on there. So 2023 is looking pretty stocked with Malazan, Wheel of Time, Discworld. Those are all books that are going to have to be on my TBR every month. So Dragonbone Chair is going in there. So guys, we're on the last 2 picks, the last 2 series that I'm going to be reading in 2023. both fantasy series. And actually, I want to thank you all who voted in my poll I put out the other day. There's 5 books. You can see these 5 books here on this poll. And the winner for these two are no surprise. I actually totally anticipated these two to win. Some were close. Like I thought Dandelion Dynasty was going to like edge in there, but it really kind of came down to these two series, and that was Rhaenyra and the 5 Warrior Angels. So Rhaenyra by Michael J. Sullivan and 5 Warrior Angels by Brian Lee Durfee. So let's talk about Rhaenyra first. Yeah, I always wanted to read Rhaenyra. My wife has read it. She's read all, like, I think all 6 now. A lot of people who I watch read it, have read it. And people who I talk about on the Discord as well have read it and they love it. And they say, you just need to read it. And I agree. I totally agree. So really looking forward to reading Rhaenyra in 2023. It's just a series, like, I know it's about 2 characters like Hadrian and Royce, and it's just a great friendship series, so I'm totally in for that, so I cannot wait. And then obviously the last series, The Forgetting Moon, or the 5 Warrior Angels by Brian Lee Durfee. I literally know nothing about this except for it's super grim dark, and everyone said it's amazing. When everyone says it's amazing, I trust everyone, and I will take their... I mean, this blew it out of the water in terms of what everyone picked. Like, it was... Like, I think it got 40% of the votes. I think 150 people voted on the poll. So, wow. Like, this is the series. So, I want to put this in January. I really want to put this in January just because... But I'm also reading, like, Dead House Gates and Eye of the World and this... and some Discworld book, so oof. Can I do it? Probably. If I do Malazan on audio, which I think I'm gonna do, I can do this. So, because this is a big boy. She thick. Damn, boy, she thick. So, yeah, really excited for 2023. I think 2023 is going to be a fantastic reading year. A lot of fantasy. I'm kind of doing a return to fantasy for 2023. There are a few sci-fi books I'm going to be throwing in. I'm going to do another list of, some standalone books I'm going to be reading in 2023. So, please check that list out when it comes out. But guys, let me know what series you're planning to read in 2023. I'd love to hear it. And, I hope you can join along with some of these reads. Either it's Malazan, Wheel of Time, or, any of them, Rhaenyra, or Brian Lee Durfee's The 5 Warrior Angels. So that's it for me, guys. I hope you have a great 2023. I hope you have a fun holiday, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.